Hello YouTube, this is The Passion, also known as Mikkel. And this is going to be a wonderful little update of what I've been up to the past 2 weeks, the past 2.5 weeks. I've left my old job, I've left McDonald's now, and I've gone into my new job and I've been really enjoying it. But we'll first focus on the day I left. We'll focus on the day that I left. And also, yeah, my reasons behind it. It really started off with me finishing up with uni. I was done and dusted with that. There was nothing else I could really do at McDonald's anymore. I was pretty much in a rut and really just wanted to move on because with how shifts were going, it was almost like we were returning to how things were when I first started. Like for one thing, the brownies, they came back in. The chocolate brownies, they came back on the menu. So it's kind of nice to just head on out and they made a sweet little return. Those are pretty damn good, especially when frozen. So if you're lucky to get one frozen, they are perfect. Anyway, and with how we were struggling more and more on shifts, just less and less staff kind of deal. It's more of just a lot of us just making do however we could. More and more people were just getting brought down by the day. And just what we had to deal with, just the sort of setup, the situation that we were pushed into. So I knew I could do more with how I cared about people and looked out for others. And yeah, just wanted a real big career change because I wanted to go further into my writing, but I still, of course, needed some sort of solid job that would support me. And I feel like being a support worker supports me in a lot of different ways. My caring attitude, always looking out for others, that always showed at work. It's why I opted to stay as a staff trainer for all those years rather than go up to manager, because I felt like I could make a bigger impact there, and I hope I did. I feel like I did. And honestly, switching gears into a job that I feel like I was innately suited for. I didn't think I would be at first when browsing around in that kind of field, but as soon as I found one and it was even closer to my house compared to work, I was like, wow, that's an even shorter walk than ever before, and money's better as well. Short days are longer, but that feels more worthwhile. And yeah, those final days, those final couple days at work were quite interesting. A friend of mine, Aaron, he managed to find a very good friend of mine, James, James's old crew trainer badge. He left it just kicking around in the building when he left, and Aaron somehow found this ancient relic. So when I noticed that, he asked me if he could have my crew trainer badge when I left. And I was like, yeah, sure thing, dude. But by the time I got home, I thought it over, and I thought to myself, well, we were in a previous uniform when me and James first met Aaron. So I opted, and I'm like, you know what, let's give him the badge that I met him with. So I gave him my staff trainer badge from the previous uniform. It's like this cream colour, it's the gold little badges, and had my name engraved on it. It's wonderful, I really like that badge. But it felt more suitable for him to have it rather than me. Because I have about, what, I've gone down to 4 badges now, 3 badges. So I kept my very first one, and that was just black with just the gold M, like sort of sticker, and then you'd have your name, and it looked a bit like you could slide the name in, but it really seemed more like a sticker from what I remember. And then yeah, the cream white one with the gold stars, and then the gold stars one again, but with this wonderful grey, and then this yellow plastic on the back of it and stuff. But yeah, I was really happy to give him that badge. On my last day, I handed it to him, and I felt like I put Aaron in a little bit of shock there, so I was happy with that. I was like, yeah, there you go, dude. You enjoy that. You have that. And yeah, it's interesting passing that down to him in a way. It's not like passing the torch really, but it's just good to hand that badge over to him, because when he first started there, he saw how me and James were, how we were good friends, and how we handled shifts and just enjoyed ourselves in that. And he's like, you know what, I want to stick around with these guys. And that always stuck with me. First time he told me that, I was like, dude. That really touched my heart. That really touched my heart. So from there, it was just a good old regular shift, really. It's quite a nice last shift, and I was really surprised how many people turned around and told me that they'd miss me. Like, I tried to be as nice as I could be, as good as I could be over the years. If ever blasted and lost my temper, I did my best to apologise. Just, like, it would seriously bother me if I just completely blew up at somebody, just ranting and raving and yelling at them or screaming at them, that sort of thing, and just leaving it be after and just ignoring it, because I've had that. I've literally had that early days that work in there, and it ain't great. Sure, nobody's perfect. Sure, the job can bring out the worst in people. Like, it definitely can. I'd admit it, it's brought out the worst out of me too. Like, I remember that feeling, and it is not a great feeling, and I don't want to spread that onto other people. So as soon as I can, I try and clean things up and make sure we're on a good enough level again. What are the people anyway that when they are genuinely nice people, I do that for them. But if they're a bit of a douche or an asshole or whatever, then well, that's where my anger goes off to. If they went out of their way to tick me off or something, then yep. I just let them, and then I just rage out and just leave it be there. Something I don't want to encourage too often, especially with this new job I'm going into. But oh man, it's been super mellow, this new job. Like, oh man, I'll be surprised if I ever get genuinely mad at another co-worker. I'll be very surprised the day I do, because it's just a nice place to work, and you're looking out for each other, and you're looking out for the residents there. It's really lovely, just looking after the elderly. It really is. It's really rewarding. I really hope more people do it. And yeah, switching gears back to my last day. So yeah, the day was lovely, and when it rolled down to the final few minutes, I was pretty hyped the day before my last day. Literally, I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, just, yeah, buddy, I'm leaving, I'm getting out of here. And like, how could I describe the excitement? It was a bit like, as if each verse, it's gonna sound weirdly narcissistic, but it kind of makes sense. Try and imagine this, right? One of my co-workers even asked me, like, what, Mikkel, you okay? This is how I explained it to Jade. I explained this to Jade C. And I explained that, try and imagine each version of me, year 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to year 7, after all 7 years of being there. Imagine they're all at a party, they're all hyped as hell for me, and I'm invited as well. Like, just try to imagine, like, each time you've ever wanted to just be like, oh, screw this, I need to get the hell out of here. Or like, maybe I could stick around a bit longer. But then you kind of, it's almost like, you know, don't really see where it ends in a way. You just kind of keep going on and just settling however you can, because it's like, you know what, it's money, it's flexible, there's nice people here, I'll stick it out. Try and imagine each version of yourself settled and stayed, and all of a sudden they get a phone call, and it's you on the other end. It's like, yo, it's gonna be a sick ass party, bro. Let's go. And and just having that confirmed date in sight of finally leaving, that had me so excited in the second to last day. And yeah, so I'm really goofing up the order of this story, but yeah, last day. We're rolling over the final few minutes. Loads of lovely hugs, goodbyes, see you soon sort of thing and that. And I even got a wonderful final handshake from a co-worker of ours, Josh. He really prides himself on his handshake strength. just thinking about it now, like every time I think about it, it still makes my hand go numb. It's just squished the nerve damage. And it really was interesting, because when I was doing this final thing, this can be the last time, that's going to be the last time, this final thing, that final thing, I kind of hesitated to clock out, but when I did, I'll be like, wow, I never have to really remember this number, this little employee number, I never have to remember that. And I headed into the crew room, and I got myself a D bag. It's one of it's like the fourth biggest paper bag you can get when it comes to any of your big orders at Mcdonald's. It's the fourth biggest, right? It's the one with the little handle. I stripped all my uniform off when I got into the changing room, put all my uniform in there, and also my work shoes, because I was never going to wear those again. Those were horrendous. Those were awful. They had these big old holes in the top and stuff. Oh, they were hideous, man. And all kinds of just like grime under the sole. And it's just, oh, this is gross. This is a gross pair of shoes, because all kinds of little bits of food time to time fall on the floor, and you're not always going to see them when you're walking by. So that was lovely. That was lovely to go right ahead and find that under my shoe just one last time and be like, nah, I ain't gonna even have to clean you, buddy. You're just going straight in the bin where you belong. So yeah, all those were in a D-bag. I was struggling on keeping my badge or not, but my co-worker Chris said keep it, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, I will keep it, and I have not regretted keeping that badge. So I go out to chuck it in the big bin in the yard. Just a sort of a farewell thing. I'll even have my name written on the bag, because that's how you first get your uniform. That's the reason why I put it in the bag. Is when you first start there at McDonald's, they give you your uniform, at least one pair, at least one set of uniform in a bag. You know, one of those D bags with your name on it. So it felt kind of poetic to finish off in the same way. So yeah, I chuck it in the bin. It lands on the open lid, so then I had to close the lid on it. It felt like I was closing a coffin. In a way, it's this McDonald's, good old Mikkel B, just passing away. Mikkel the staff trainer, just passing away, and after 7 strong years, boom, put the bin lid on it, and that was it. So it was that part of it done, and then there's a couple more goodbyes on the way out, and then I popped my headphones on and I started listening to my leaving music. I made a playlist of 4 songs on it, and I promised myself that I'd listen to these when I'm walking home. So the first song was Master of the Mystic, the Doctor Strange end credits tune, and that symbolised how I was done with a strange journey. It was a really odd one going through it, each day, challenging me differently more than the last. It's one of those it depends kind of things as well, but it really was an interesting and bizarre experience just working at McDonald's, because I made loads of new friends. I learned all kinds of things when it came to just people in general. I think that was a wonderful thing to go out with gusto and really savor and enjoy. There we go. But yeah, so the first one was the Master of the Mystic, the end credits song to the Doctor Strange film. And that symbolised for me that it was one hell of a weird scenario that I went through for the longest time. And sure, I came out a bit busted, a bit broken, but a little bit better as well, because like despite the burns I've gained over the years, I've got my hands back again, at least. And in a way, like kind of the same thing with Doctor Strange, he sort of got his hands back as well. They're not fixed. They're still shaking like crazy. And that's a damn shame. It's an interesting journey he went through as well, but it's in a way not complete. He has to just take a detour and just keep going up that way. A sorcerer supreme rather than fixing his hands. And yeah, I felt a lot more humble and that sort of thing after. And it was the end of a bizarre journey indeed, definitely for me. But one thing that I remember is that I got my hands back. That's one thing that really stuck with me. I have my hands back now, because I get all kinds of burned at work and it'd be for some other stranger's food. And when yeah, we'll leave it there. But I gave myself like a great gift of a positive mindset and coping mechanisms, and really kept at it. But I won't have to try as hard anymore because of the work environment that I'm in now. It's a lot more positive, and it's not as intense. It's really not as intense. It's still challenging, but it's not as intense. It's not like you're sitting at an 8 or a 9 every other day when it comes to the different dilemmas you have to deal with. Even with all the experience I had as well. Like some things that was completely out of your control, but you just had to settle and deal with them as best you could, and I'll be all kinds of frustrating. But I'm out of that now, so that's very good. But the next tune was Never Turn Back from the Shadow the Hedgehog game. And I promised myself that even in my second year at McDonald's, that I would make sure that when I leave, I'm listening to this tune, because it'll be belting out a promise to me that I'd never go back. I'd never go back to working at McDonald's again, because that was my biggest fear, was leaving and having to come back. Because it is all kinds of embarrassing. I've seen it with other people before. They've left and then they've come back. And it's one of those, oh, I had to, didn't have as much money, like this wasn't working, that wasn't working. And that terrified me, man, because it's just, it's sort of embarrassing in a way. That's how I kind of saw it. When things really didn't go your way well enough, even for some people, they literally left. And they went into a spotty job that even when they're telling you, you're like, no, I don't think that's a good idea, that one. And end up just working at different McDonald's instead. I've seen it myself, man. It's a shame. It's a shame because it's all this light and hope in their eyes. But when they come back, there's less than what was there when they were stuck in the middle of it. Like really at the peak of like Crap Creek kind of thing. It was really awful. It's really awful to see that, and it has a big old fear. I don't want to ever feel like that. That I'm like, damn it, I'm stuck here, and this is proof of that. And I'm off and away now. I'm never turning back, no matter what's hitting me in the face. I ain't never going back. I'm not gonna. I made sure I didn't run out of the building with just no plan, and just running out of money. So then I had to come back. Like, I'm so glad I never had to do that. But yeah, leaving and starting a new job is, it's been wonderful. It's been real damn good. And never turning back to that place again. This has made me so happy because I actually were early days. I used to be a big old Shadow the Hedgehog fan, like Sonic fan, right? So it's kind of nice that before I started there, that I was into it, and then at least I'm into their music anyway. Like some of their tunes are actually pretty darn catchy and kind of cool. So it was lovely because I remember coming home from work, walking through the front door, not talking to anyone. I'll just get myself cleaned up, order a takeaway, that's it. Because I could have such miserable days, I just don't want to talk or see or speak to anyone. I wouldn't even be on Facebook, Messenger, whatever. Like, I wouldn't be on any kind of social stuff. I'll be just in this dreary, like, emotional spot. And actually, I'll be playing No More Heroes sometimes as well, actually. Just earning money and doing the side job stuff, just so when my next play session comes up, I have way more momentum. I just keep going forward rather than having to just grind out and earn more money. So yeah, that's definitely the meaning behind that track for me. It's a big promise to myself that I'll never turn back there. But really am excited about this new job. It's been going really well, and I really am enjoying it. I really do love this job. And the next track was No More Heroes, the real ending credits theme. That had Musafumi Takada, as the music director, and that plays at the end of the first No More Heroes game. So you got that to really enjoy. We're gonna look forward to that in our No More Heroes Journey to No More Heroes 3. We're gonna enjoy that a lot. And that was essentially my celebration song. So the previous song, Never Turn Back, that's that big badass and edgy tune sort of thing. Just I'm like charging on out of it, ain't never turning around, ain't never looking back. But then No More Heroes is a celebration of that time, and a celebration of me leaving as well. It almost felt like confetti was falling from the sky. It's just do 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 do. Love it. It's wonderful. It really picked me up. It really picked me up, that tune, and it made me feel like a wise old man. The first tune, the second one a badass, and then the third one this big wonderful celebration to a good ending, because I was happy to leave McDonald's on good terms rather than just storming out, pissed off with everybody, and then everyone just talks crap about you when you leave. Cause that's another thing actually. I would it's at least at my store anyway. I don't know if it happens to other stores and retail places, that sort of thing, but we end up talking about the people that really pissed us off, or someone that really smelled or whatever, like that sort of thing. Like, you remember them more. I don't know why, but sure you do talk about the good and great people time to time. But man, those are rude people. Those are rude people, the people that smelled real bad or whatever, or just the plain ignorant people that just wanted to make enemies out of everybody for some reason. Those are the people remembered more. I don't know why. It's really strange. I guess as humans, like, we're always checking for threats and that sort of thing, and we're just relaying that back and forth. Like, was this a threat? Yeah, it was a threat. Man, that's a douchebag. Yeah, that's a big douchebag. Yeah, so yeah, I had my Rockstar ending tune there, and then finally, the last tune was from Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, actually, and it's all nice and soothing, called Come To Me by Baku Furukawa. And I was actually pretty close to my house at the time, so I had to double back a little bit on myself. So the tune finished before I got home, and having that No More Heroes original theme whistling at the end there, that just brought me back to early days at McDonald's. I would head home, chill out, and play this game and absolutely love it. And just cruising around the town and adding to funds and that sort of thing. And I sort of started to appreciate the message that Suda 51 had with the side jobs, and sure, it's a pain in the ass, but you gotta do something, you gotta get money somehow. Like, I was starting to pick up on that back then, and I was really happy that I didn't have to wear that uncomfortable uniform anymore. And it's just a real nice return, that tune, because I felt more myself when I was listening to that track and when I was coming close to home. And I felt way more myself because my bag was lighter. Like, I didn't have my shoes or my uniform in there. I wasn't going to wear that uncomfortable uniform anymore. And it just felt like a lot to me, really. It really meant a lot, just listening to that track and just being so close to my house. Like, it was almost pitch black. It's just street lights on, stars in the sky. So that was real nice scenery. I really did enjoy that. And I was just so happy. I was just so happy and just so eager to go into a new job and be supporting people in a better way rather than just a quick fix and tasty food. And yeah, overall it was a nice segment of the day to really reflect, and just having those stars just shining above me, that helped out. I really felt settled in myself again. I wasn't gonna cry, but I felt emotional. But now that I'm free of all that craziness, I actually had my hands back. This is what I was gonna get onto. I was in after my shower, just savouring that shower and getting all the grease off me for the final time. I won't have to wash. Just all the grease that gets in the air and just settles on your skin from like working in the kitchen so much. Like, I wouldn't have to deal with that anymore. And yeah, I'm lying in bed, fresh and clean, and I realised that I have my hands back. I won't have to ever get burned for someone else's meal again, especially some stranger's meal, some stranger that I'll just never meet. And that felt real big and important, because it was a bit like, it felt like I lost like the perfect pair of gloves, like this real nice pair of gloves, and put them back on. It's like, ooh, they still feel the same. They still feel just as good as like the last time I wore them. Felt like that. Like, it really was a big return to form. Just like the past me and like the me as I am now, they merge nicely together. And I do hope that anyone out there that's in a side job that they're stuck in, or they're leaving that kind of third-rate class work, should we say, just doing it to like get by sort of thing. I do hope you guys find something better, and that you guys all leave like your jobs gracefully. Don't get all nasty and just don't get all nasty and just turn into Hyde at the last minute and just get your revenge on everybody or whatever. Just like, no, it's better to leave on a nice note, I think, because at least some people remember you at your best rather than at this sort of snide or spiteful worst. I've seen it before, and I made sure that I'd at least leave on good terms and be happy with the people that I'm working with before I go. So yeah, I hope you guys can have that same experience as well, because it's a good positive reinforcement technique, because when you apply yourself in that certain way, you go into a new job like more open and more optimistic as well, really. I don't think if I'd just turned around a bit nasty to everyone the last week, I don't think I would have had as many goodbyes and little heart-to-hearts as well, because I think that's one of the best gifts, really. It's just those little heart-to-hearts. Like, even with people that I know that just didn't have... I kind of didn't think would really think that much of me or whatever. Like, sure, we're on good terms, we're good friends or whatever, but that... Man, that's some deep statements, man. One friend of mine said, he said I had a good spirit. I was like, oh, wait, what? Where did this come from? And yeah, it was really sweet. It was really sweet. But I do hope all my rambling has helped you guys in some way. And man, I'm not sure what else to say. Not sure what else to say really. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my rambling. I hope you enjoyed my rambling, and I hope it helped. But yeah, do let me know if you felt like leaving an old job, what kind of stuff you want to go into, and like the reasons why you want to leave as well, and circumstances. There's all kinds of stuff we can talk about in the comments. Just drop a comment whenever you want, just anywhere down there. And yeah, if you liked what you heard, go ahead, drop a like. And if you want to hear any more from me, no more side jobs kind of stuff, talking about life stuff, subscribe. And also for Journey to No More Heroes 3, because that's going to be a fantastic time, I think. Just going over the series and how I enjoyed it, my likes and dislikes, that sort of thing. But yeah, until then, take care of yourselves. This is The Passion, also known as Mikkel. See you on the next journey. Bye bye.